Alright, so today in section 7 we're going to talk about the quadratic formula, and we're going to use it to solve quadratic equations. So this is another method to solve. So to solve an equation using the quadratic formula, we have this, remember when I sang to you the other day, x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So you use your a, your b, and your c from your standard form, and then you plug them in and simplify, and it gives you the solutions. And then the discriminant is just that part that's under the radical, the b squared minus 4ac. We're going to use that to help us in the future find how many solutions there are going to be, because we could have one solution, we could have two solutions, or we could have no solutions. Alright, so what are the solutions using the quadratic formula? We have 2x squared minus x equals 4. Now, in order to use the quadratic formula, we must put it in standard form first. So it has to be ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So it must equal 0 if we're going to use the quadratic formula. So if we subtract 4 from both sides, we get 2x squared minus x minus 4 equals 0. So our a is 2, our b is negative 1, and our c is negative 4. So let's go ahead and put that into our quadratic formula. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So the opposite of b, negative negative 1, is positive 1, plus or minus negative 1 squared minus 4 times 2 times negative 4 over 2 times 2. Alright, so I get 1. Let's see, this is negative 8, and negative 8 times negative 4 is positive 32 over 4. So I get 1 plus or minus square root of 33 over 4. Now, can I simplify the square root of 33? I can't. There's nothing that goes into the square root of 33. So this would be my answer. If you would like to, you can find a decimal approximation by taking the square root of 33 and do 1 plus the square root of 33 and divide by 4, and then 1 minus the square root of 33 divided by 4. These ones are just going to take time and practice. So here are a couple. Go ahead and try them and see what you get for your solutions. Alright, so I have the solutions for these ones. They're a little more involved. So I'm going to go ahead and put them on a whiteboard. And the first one, when you plug in all the numbers, you get negative 6 plus or minus the square root of 0 over 2. Well, the square root of 0 is 0. So if you add or subtract 0, it's going to be the same. So we only have one solution for this one. It's negative 3. The same thing happens with the second one. We have negative 2 as our solution because the discriminant is 0. Now, the third one, when you simplify it, I get negative 4 plus or minus the square root of 28 over 2. Can we simplify square root of 28? Yes. That could be rewritten as 4 times 7. So that's 2 square root of 7. So I have negative 4 plus or minus 2 square root of 7 over 2. Do you see how each one of our coefficients is a multiple of 2? We're going to reduce all of them, so our answer is negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 7. And that would be the answer for the third one. Alright, applying the quadratic formula. Your school's jazz band is selling CDs as a fundraiser, and the total profit P depends on the amount X that your band charges for each CD. The equation is this one, P equals negative x squared plus 48x minus 300, and it models the profit of the fundraiser. What is the least amount in dollars you can charge for a CD in order to make a profit? So in order to find this, we're going to have to find out what X is, right? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and plug those in. We're going to make a profit of $200, so that's what our profit needs to be, P. Now, in order to solve this, what do we have to do first? We need to put it into standard form. So we're going to subtract that 200, so A is negative 1, B is 48, and C is negative 500. Now we're going to take and put that into our quadratic formula. Alright, so negative 48 plus or minus the square root of 48 squared minus 4 times negative 1 times negative 500 over, that's times, 2 times negative 1. Okay, so let's go ahead and do some math. I don't know most of these numbers off the top of my head. So let's see, negative 48 plus or minus the square root of 2,304, and then I have 4 times 500, which is 2,000, and let's see, there's a negative, a negative, a negative, so it's a minus 2,000 over negative 2. Now, 2304 minus 2,000 is, 304. So negative 48 plus or minus square root of 304 over negative 2. The square root of 304, since we're looking for an actual dollar figure, we're going to go ahead and take that square root. That's 17.4. So negative 48 plus or minus 17.4 over negative 2. So if we want to find the least amount that we can charge, we need to take, let's see, negative 48 plus 17.4 divided by 2. I get my first solution is 3270, and negative 48 minus 17.4 divided by 2. Oops, I made a mistake. Negative 48 minus 17.4 divided by 2. Nope, I get 3270 again. That's weird. We should have two different answers. Hold on a moment. Okay, I found my error. The first time I hit the minus button instead of the plus button, so it's $15.30. So you need to charge at least $15.30 in order to make a $200 profit off of your CDs. Alright, so the discriminant. So this is just giving you a picture idea of what's happening. So when we solve the discriminant, that's the part under the radical. If you just think about it, how many solutions do we have for a positive number? We have 2 solutions. So when our number is positive, we have 2 solutions because we have the positive answer and we have the negative answer. Just like, what's the square root of 4? 2 and negative 2. So what that's saying is, graphically, we're crossing and finding 2 zeros, whether our parabola is going up or it's going down. If we take this square root and our square root is 0, well, what's the square root of 0? We only have one option, it's 0. So we have one solution, and our solution is that the vertex is our 0. So vertex is our 0. And if it's that b squared minus 4ac is negative, we have no solutions. Because what's the square root of negative 4? Well, there is no number times itself that can make a negative number. So what's happening here is that we have no zeros. So our parabolas are not going through the x-axis. They're either above it or below it, like this. Which is really helpful, because then we can determine how many solutions we're going to have instead of, spending hours doing work. Okay, so to find the number of solutions, we put it in standard form, and then we just evaluate that b squared minus 4ac. So we plug it in, negative 3 squared minus 4 times negative 2 times 5. We have, the answer is 49. So since it's positive, we have 2 solutions, and, that discriminant is going to be 7, negative 7. So what about this one? Let's try this one. So my b is negative 3 squared, minus 4 times 2 times 7. Well, negative 3 squared is 9, and 4 times 2 is 8, and 8 times 7 is 56. So this number is going to be negative. It's going to be negative 45. Do we have any solutions for negative numbers? No. Not till tomorrow. Shh, it's a secret. There's another one. Don't forget to put them in standard form before you do it. And here's our last problem. You hit a golf ball into the air from a height of 1 inch above the ground with an initial vertical velocity of 85 feet per second. Here's our function, h equals negative 16t squared plus 85t plus 1/12 models the height in feet of the ball at time in t seconds. Will the ball reach a height of 515 feet? So which of these numbers does 115 represent? 115 is the height, so we put that in for h. Okay, so then in order to evaluate the discriminant, what are we going to have to do? We subtract 115 from both sides, so we get negative 16t squared plus 85t minus 114 and 1/12, and that should equal 0. So we evaluate our discriminant, the b squared minus 4ac, you plug in b is 85, a is negative 16, c is negative 114 and 1/12, and then we evaluate that, and we find that the discriminant is negative 129 and 2/3, which has no real solutions. So that what that means is that the golf ball does not reach 115 feet. Sorry for you golfers out there. Alright, so we're done for today. This is lesson 4.7. Go ahead and do your Math Excel, and I'll have a worksheet for you in class, and have a good day.